Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the ECM WF extended model for today's second video. This is your 30-day / 42-day extended European outlook, and I shall get on with it for you in a moment. Just say but first, video saves our 6 AM UK weather forecast. There's a 10 to 14 day on the way later on today as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content, and thank you so much everyone for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Right, let's start off with week 1, mean sea level pressure anomaly, taking us through the week we're currently in, the 24th of February to the 3rd of March. Next week we'll see high pressure extending in from the Atlantic into many central, northern and western parts of Europe. Low pressure is up towards Greenland and Iceland and could well bring more unsettled conditions into Scandinavia and Nordic regions, and then we've got some weaker pressure down to the south. 500 millibar height anomaly from the Arctic of the North Pole view down. Looks like that. So again, a ridge from the Atlantic into northern, western, and also some central parts of Europe. A trough to the west of Spain and Portugal, and possibly a deep low in the far southeast of Europe as well. Plenty of low pressure in the North Atlantic around Greenland and Iceland. Temperature anomalies then are still very cold across the extreme east and southeastern portion of Europe, particularly to the north of the Black Sea in towards the Ukraine and the southwest of Russia, and also going southwards in towards Greece, Turkey, and even extending down in towards the Middle East. We see cold and average temperature anomalies. But Western Europe is closer to normal. We've got Ireland, England, Wales, much of France, Spain, Portugal, with near normal temperature anomalies through there. Most other areas are milder than average, especially these western central parts of Europe, and particularly going up towards the far north. So again, we've got Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, all coming out significantly milder than average. The warmest temperature anomalies to average are through Arctic portions but Sweden and Finland there, where we're going at about 6 to 10 degrees above average. So our precipitation goes, we look like that. So many eastern parts of Europe are drier, where we've got that coldness of weather. It is also quite dry. Drier through parts of Ireland and the UK, and a bit of variation from area to area, really. Southern France, northern Spain, Portugal comes out a bit drier. However, other areas are wetter. So, for example, much of France, especially central northern France, looking wetter than normal, as is Germany. And then going southwards around the Balkans, through the Adriatic, and back to Italy, it comes out wetter than average through there. Some of that will be rain, of course, for Italy, except in mountainous areas, and then snow is likely, I would have thought, through the Balkans. Then going further northwards, we have a mix. So some parts of northern Sweden are a bit wetter average, other areas a bit drier than normal, and the far northeast of Europe, especially around those Baltic Sea states, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, are slightly on the drier side. Week 2 is the 3rd through to the 10th of March. And this week sees high pressure, particularly through central and eastern parts of Europe, actually, and down into the southern portion of Europe. Low pressure in the North Atlantic, along the jet stream, doing something a little bit like that. 500 millibar height anomalies. So we've got below average heights again around Greenland and Iceland through the North Atlantic. Above average heights dominating across large portions of Europe. And again, the jet stream and wind flow is going southwest to northeast. Temperature anomalies then are milder in most areas, but again we still see this extreme southeastern corner looking colder. So Greece and Turkey and the Black Sea coming out with colder than average temperature anomalies there to southwest of Russia. Most other areas though are milder than average, so it's milder in the west of Europe, Ireland, the UK, France, much of Spain and Portugal above average. The core of the warmth again is in the north though, so Germany, Poland, Denmark, Belarus and the Baltic Sea states see temperature anomalies around 3 to 6 degrees above average. Going further north of that into Arctic portions of Sweden, Finland, and Arctic portions of northwest Russia, again 6 to 10 degrees above average through there. Will still be cold, of course, that's an anomaly to average. So precipitation goes It's wetter than average in the far north, so Norway, much of Sweden, Ireland, and into particularly northwestern parts of Britain, coming out with above average rainfall through there. The extreme south of Europe and down into North Africa, interestingly, looking quite wet. And then we've got a large swathe of drier than average conditions all the way from northern Spain and France, right way over to Ukraine, Belarus, and even into west of Russia. We see drier than average conditions through there, particularly and notably dry across the Alpine regions, so probably struggling for snow there, and into the Balkans as well, coming out drier than normal. Week 3 is the 10th to the 17th of March, another unsettled week to come. Low pressure from the North Atlantic into the west of Europe, along with a strong westerly zonal flow. The ridge looks like it's retreating back to the extreme eastern side of Europe there. 500 millibar height anomalies look like that. Again, lots of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic into the north and west Europe. High pressure from the Azores zone down towards Spain and Portugal. And then there's that ridge over on the eastern side of Europe. Temperature anomalies are coming out above average in most parts of Europe, even in that southeastern corner. Finally, there's a bit of a warm up going on. Core of the warmth is through central and eastern regions, where we have that deeper red shading, 3 to 6 degrees above average. Some of the Balkans right the way up towards Arctic portions, but Scandinavia and Nordic regions. It is still above average further west, but it's not quite as warm to average through those western portions of Europe. And precipitation anomalies, well, they're looking quite wet now across much of northern and also western Europe, so France, Germany, the Low Countries, Belgium, Netherlands, UK, Ireland, up to Denmark and into the Scandinavian peninsula, and also Nordic regions coming out wetter than normal. Spain and Portugal looks drier though. Could be quite nice there for a holiday maybe. And central portions of the bed looking a little bit on the wetter side. The eastern portion of Europe is looking drier though. Week 4 is the 17th to the 24th of March. Not much change really. Low pressure keeps on coming in the Atlantic into the northwest Europe. Some higher pressure though down across southern and also southwest parts of Europe. And winds coming in from off the Atlantic in a west or southwesterly direction. 500 millibar heights again with below average heights across much of the north and west Europe. Above average heights down across the southern portion of Europe, and again the wind flow and jet stream coming in off the Atlantic like that. Temperature anomalies remain above average in most parts of Europe as well into the 4th week. The core of the warm, perhaps retreating more towards the far north and northeast of Europe there though. Precipitation-wise, well, still on the wet side probably for North and West Europe, Ireland, UK, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and probably Finland, wetter than normal. Drier down towards France, Spain, and Portugal. Possibly a bit drier over on the eastern side of Europe as well. Right, that's your 30-day look ahead done, but let's go through weeks 5 and 6 data before we go. So week 5 is the 24th to the 31st of March. So low pressure still in the North Atlantic, but perhaps weakening a little bit. 500 millibar heights. Again, perhaps building up more of a ridge from southern parts of Europe there. Temperature is still largely above average in most areas and becoming a bit drier patch through the western portion of Europe. And then week 6 will be the 31st of March to the 7th of April. Signs of a change with some higher pressure appearing through the west of Europe then. 500 millibar heights again, suggesting a ridge through the west of Europe as well. Temperature is still above average, and precipitation-wise, turning drier on this western side of Europe. That is a long way off. Right, so that's your 30-day look ahead done. Your Extended European Outlook is done for this week. Remember, any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings and large pinches of salt attached, so that will always be the caveat. We're going to be back a little bit later on with the 10 to 14 day. Come back for that later for the Extended European Outlook for this week. That's for now, and thanks for watching.